All right, we're squeezing one in so we have something to listen to tonight. I'm very tired. This one might be low energy, but you need your content. Oh, fuck. Okay. March 22nd, 5:24 p.m. Wright and Co. Law Offices. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! There, Pearls. I killed your sister. Because I wouldn't just take the not guilty verdict. I can't take it anymore. Look, it'll be alright. Everything may still work out. Even though he explicitly said that I had to get it done. The condition was not that we had to get a not guilty verdict. And so far, the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt Maya. You do not know that. And he won't because Mr. On Guard hasn't been given a guilty sentence yet. Cheer up. We don't have time to stand around crying. We have to get going. You're right. Mystic Maya's in much more pain than I am. She's chilling, dude. Yes, that's right. So, hey, you got... I thought it was Gumshoe. Glad I caught you, pal. Mr. Scruffy. Oh, God. Looks like Detective Gumshoe has been dubbed Mr. Scruffy Detective in Pearl's book now. It's just plain old Dick Gumshoe now. Come on, I came to talk to you, pal. But we're kind of busy right now. What? So what are you gonna do from now on? What do you mean, pal? Well, you got fired, right? So do you have a new job lined up? Oh, that. What am I supposed to do now, pal? I don't have anything coming in at all until my next payday. What are you talking about? You don't have another payday. I guess that means I'm just gonna have to work here at your place, pal. Hell yeah, get him on board. Gumshoe's my intern. Say what? You'll be searching for things that'll prove Mr. On Guard's innocence all day, right? Well, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna help you, pal. I've got a lot of experience investigating and watching over other people's places. And I'm great at making real simple meals, pal. Take care of it. He's a himbo. I love him. Come on, Nick. Let's just let Mr. Scruffy Detective take care of things. I'm gonna call him Scruffy because I hate that whole... okay, by the way, what's your best dish? Instant noodles, pal! Why am I surrounded by people who only eat cheap, unhealthy food? Listen, you rich white male. You don't have Whole Foods? That was the first time I've ever seen Mr. Edgeworth act like that. Never thought he'd say something. He didn't care. Never thought he'd say something like he didn't care if Miss Andrews killed herself. Well, yeah, it's absolute justice. Listen, it is what it is. The truth happens, and if they die, they die. He said that? That's horrible. But because of him doing that, we got the truth finally. The truth. Mrs. Andrews' last testimony. I wonder if it was the truth. I'll give you that there was nothing strange in her testimony itself, but I still think there's something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing. You need me about that thing, pal? Why would she want to know? I mean, almost need to frame Mr. On Guard. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the connection to the mentor. I don't think she killed Juan. I couldn't figure that out from anything she said all day. Then you're saying that testimony was a lie? Not a lie per se. It just feels like there's more here than meets the eye, or that's what Edgeworth would like us to believe. That's such a dirty trick. Even that woman prosecutor was better than that. Dude, Edgeworth has been saving this case all day. Non-stop. Franziska von Karma. Speaking of Miss von Karma, do you have any more information on her condition? Wasn't she shot this morning? Miss von Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by a pistol, pal. But she's gonna be fine, right? I mean, Edgeworth said she's in stable condition. Well, she was shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. They should be done taking the bullet out, so she's probably resting at the hospital. Which one? What, are you gonna pay her a visit, pal? No? Well, let's think about it. Hey, you've actually got a heart, don't you? What the fuck? She looks like she was being tortured to death not being able to go to trial today. So maybe it'd be good for her if you went and let her whip you for a bit, pal. Let's go let her whip us, Nick. Oh no. Now I'm definitely not going. Let's see. The name of the hospital. It's the Hottie Clinic. Oh, that's the one place with the crazy guy. Well, it can't hurt to stop by and say hi. March 22nd, Hottie Clinic. Never thought I'd ever come back to this place. Yeah, here he is. I don't remember what voice I gave him. I'm just gonna give him a new voice. Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? Hi. Wait a second. You're... yes. I'm Director Hardy. Oh. Why are you still here? Yes, what is it? Can I help you? You can tell me. Yes. Director Hardy. Oh, Director Hardy. Edgeworth. Yes, I'm Director Hardy. Oh, you're the man from this morning. Yes, what is it? Director, Franziska. How is Franziska von Karma? You don't need to worry. Yes. She's in good hands. Because you see, I'm personally taking good care of her. Yes. Yes. And that surgery, it went well. You have my gratitude. Looks like Edgeworth doesn't know about this director and his secret. She looks so pitiful, absolutely terrified. Yes. But I understand. Yes. Her opponent was a gun after all. And when I snuck up her all secret-like, she would scream real loud. Yes. I see. But she's really cute too. When I'd do that, she'd whip me with her whip. Boy, did I cry like a baby. But I think I could get used to it. Oh, there he is. Damn, she's still... We can't draw another model for her, huh? We got the one. Go back to your room. You're so mean. So mean, my frisky Friska. But that's good too. Ah! Okay. I am. Yes. It's time for my IV drops. Yes. And what are those tulips doing in your hand, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? I knew I shouldn't have come here. I was shot in front of the courthouse in my right shoulder. But it's no big deal. This sort of thing happens all the time. I even had full intentions of running the trial this morning. I've been shot on no less than 7 different occasions. But that would have been too much for you. There's no need to act tough in front of us, you know? Regardless, I was dragged here by that man over there. He was so unyielding, one has to simply wonder if he was interested in stealing my case. It was the only logical course of action given the bullet still lodged in your shoulder. But by taking over the case, I found myself having to clean up after you and that irresponsible deal you made. I think I know what deal he's referring to. The deal. Miss Von Karma, you made a deal with Miss Andrews yesterday, didn't you? I don't know what you mean. In order to make sure you got your guilty verdict. You told Miss Andrews not to testify in court. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have proof that I made such a deal? You're denying it? Looks like you were lucky, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. If I'd been in court today, this trial would already be over. All while hiding Miss Andrews' own crime. That isn't my problem, whether she had tampered with the evidence or not. I have only one objective, to find Angard guilty of murder. The ends justify the means, Phoenix, Wright. The ends justify the means. Miss Von Karma, Adrian Andrews believed you when you said, if you don't tell the truth of what really happened, then Angard will be found guilty. And what does that have to do with me? Because of that, she's now in danger of being found guilty herself. All because your words she believed in you till the very end. That still has nothing to do with me. She's just a weak person. I don't know what you're saying. But you had to know that she was... I think visiting hours are over. So, you'll excuse me. Goodbye. What's wrong? Why did she suddenly cut you off? Probably because she thinks I had an advantage in that argument. Yes. Edgeworth. What happened at today's trial, Edgeworth? That wasn't like you at all. I mean, I know you knew about Miss Andrews' condition. You could have made her testify as many times as you wanted, but to go that far. But she wouldn't testify about that until I said something. Listen, Wright, the courtroom is a garden of judgment. I'm putting myself on the line when I stand in there, and that's why I made the witness do the same. It's only natural. No, it's not. You volunteer to be there. They're forced. By the way, Edgeworth, you were really angry about in court today. That's rare for you. I see him make that face like 4 times a trial. Witness that card. Give it to me. Hurry. Do you have any idea of how stupidly yet what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This. I can't believe you hid this from me. That card, what in the world is it? You mean this? Listen, Wright, this is top secret information. You absolutely cannot leak this. Crazy Dr. Hody is going to be like right next to here. A special investigations team has existed for a number of years, but few knew of it. Yeah, I think I said that. I don't know if I did, but I was wondering if you recognized the card as like a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Their task is to find the owner of this card. Maybe I didn't say that. That's what I meant. A man named Shelley the Killer. And just as his name states, he's a killer, an assassin, the best at that. An assassin? Picture card added to the court record. Yeah, the butler killed him. It's all coming together. So who is this Shelley the Killer? The Killer is the name of a long-standing line of assassins. Long-standing? The name first appeared about 100 years ago, I hear. Shelley is the professional name of the third heir to the Killer name. So because his professional name is Shelley, he leaves the cards with a shell on him? He has a habit of making sure to leave a card by the body of his victims. Why would he do something like that? We think it's part of his duty to his clients. His duty? If he leaves a card, then the clients can be assured it was he who killed the victim. It also serves as insurance against any charges being pushed onto his clients. I see. The Killer values the trust between his clients and himself above all else. Ooh. Did Matt hire an assassin? Does Matt Ungard, the surfer bro, have it in him to hire someone to assassinate Juan? Because now we're in a position of who wants Juan dead. And with all of our previous thing about Matt being the reason that the mentor died, it doesn't make any sense that what's-her-butt would do it. So who else would it be? And Matt got all clammy when we asked about the mentor. Does Matt have the gumption and the connections? How do you even hire a famous hitman? The Killer values the trust. I already said this. It seems like this one is an honorable assassin with a moral conscience. I guess that even honorable assassins could exist. That's what he just fucking said, Phoenix. Why do you do this? I think Phoenix has a crush on Edgeworth because he never says stupid shit like that unless Edgeworth is around. He never repeats that shit. Like he said, it's the same shit as the like new evidence thing. He's like, I guess assassins with a moral conscience do exist. And then Phoenix is like, I guess assassins were. It's like, it's verbatim what he just said. So you think this assassin, you think he's the one who did the killing. I'm saying he's flustered. It appears that way. The discovery of the card basically confirms it, wouldn't you agree? Shelley the Killer, huh? That's a stupid name. I noticed something at the trial today. You were behaving in a very strange manner. Is something the matter? Ooh, you're so empathetic. I guess I should just tell him. Maya, she's been kidnapped. Kidnapped? What does the kidnapper want? An acquittal. I see. I had no idea. I'll prepare a rescue team as soon as possible and resolve this by tomorrow. Is Edgeworth like a CIA agent? Really? Did you hear that, Mr. Nick? Mr. Edgeworth is going to. Stop trying to console me, Edgeworth. I don't need your pity. Mr. Nick? There's no way you can find her. We don't have a single lead to go on. She's in the hotel basement. She's at the scene of the crime. There's only one way to save her. I have to get an acquittal somehow. It's the only way. Right. Listen, you need to know something. Juan Corota was killed by Shelley the Killer, and the client who ordered the job was Matt. Yep, is Matt on. That's why. Sorry. It all just came together. That's why the Killer requires me to get an acquittal for Matt. It's because it's his code. He can't have it blow back on the person that hired him. That's what it is. I didn't put that motive together because that was the missing piece of the puzzle earlier, is why would he need Matt to get acquitted if he was just like trying to pin it on someone else? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. But that's exactly what it is. So now we're in a situation where Matt Ungard is guilty and I have to do the morally ambiguous thing of getting off a dude who hired getting an acquittal. A guy who hired an assassin in order to save my loved ones. Please stop. I can't listen to you. I can't believe that. I see. Well, if you want to continue your investigation, you'll need this. What is it? The hotel right now is restricted to police personnel only, as we are looking for clues that might lead us to Shelley the Killer. But I can't structure my sentences correctly because it's all cut up. Like he's starting this sentence with but if you take this to the hotel, I'm sure they'll let you enter. Letter of introduction. In any case, I must attend to the preparations for Maya's rescue team. We'll meet again if anything should happen. Now feel excuse me. Excuse me, Phoenix Wright. Mr. Nick, do you think Mr. Ungard hired an assassin? I do. I do think that. I mean, he doesn't have a Psylocke. Yeah, I guess not. I don't know if you can trust in that 100%. Maya, please, all I ask is that you're found safe and sound. Ooh. Got a boyfriend? Can we get some Mia rendezvous? I thought we had strats. I guess even the kid... I have been doing that voice with the lisp for so long. I guess even kidnappers can be a little clumsy. Clumsy enough to drop a card like this for me. And even though he said he was an assassin, I bet he's just making that up like how Nick does everything in court. Don't say that about Nick. Anyway, let's try out the card trick that I just found. Sounds like I got the door open. Okay, time to take a look around. He's gonna be like right there. Date, blah, blah, blah. Time, location, blah, blah, blah. Oh shit, we're not in the hotel. He's got the teddy bears. What's this place? I've got a feeling I'm not in the hotel anymore. Are those videos over there? Well, I'll find that out later. I should be looking for clues. That way I could show Sis and maybe get out of here. Yeah, she could rendezvous all this to Phoenix. Ooh, is this the mentor in the picture? It is. There's a framed picture sitting on the coffee table. It's a picture of a woman. She kind of looks pretty. Hey, there's something written here. Let's see. I think it says, "With love, Celeste." I bet this could be a clue. That's weird. What's a figurine doing on a sofa in a place like this? I think it's a bear. How cute. But it's got a lot of cuts and slits on it. I wonder if it's like a puzzle or something. Okay. Okay, we got a dog. Locked, of course. And it doesn't look like I can use the card to open the door. There's a little hole at the bottom of the door. If only I was a little skinnier, then maybe I'll be able to crawl through here. Natalie's triggered. Oh, hey, it's a computer. I've never really used one before. I have no idea where to power switch this thing. Drat, there goes my plan to get useful information out. What is this thing, an antenna, I guess? This, a VCR. There's sure a lot of electronic gadgets here, but what is the antenna doing? Oh, no. Oh, this simply won't do. I cannot have you wandering around at will. Yeah! Oh, boy. It seems that your Mr. Wright is truly concerned about you. He is? For now, I would suggest you remain cooperative. If you cannot, there are ways in which I can help you. Ways? You mean dead men tell no tales? Is how the saying goes, correct? Dead? Ghosts? I'm almost certain I told you about it in our first meeting. I am an assassin. I'm skipping words like crazy. I shouldn't do this so late in the day. No way, you're lying. I mean, an assassin? People are not always who they appear to be. Nick! Well, so the bear has a puzzle in it. It depends on where he is right now. I don't know if he has a personal connection to Celeste, the mentor, or if he's in Matt Unguard's apartment right now. This could be Matt Unguard's house. Why did the bears show up? Why is that significant? Like, what's the BM by leaving the bears everywhere? What's the fucking mic drop that the bears represent? Mr. Nick? Oh, yes. Pearls? Got caught up in my thoughts about my situation. Mr. Edgeworth has left, you know. I guess for now I have no choice but to believe in Matt on guard. But I think I should listen to his story one more time. All right, let's get going. All right. I mean, he didn't have a Psylocke because you asked him if he killed... Hi, Gumshoe. You asked him if he killed the guy, and he said no, he didn't kill the guy. He did hire someone to kill the guy. March 22nd, Detention Center, Visitors Room. I'm sorry, but visiting hours are over for today. Aw, arg. I have too many questions I need to ask. I'm sorry, but I'm Phoenix Wright, a lawyer for one of the... You're Mr. Wright, you say? Oh, there's a message here for you. A message. It's from Matt on guard. Here you are. What did he write? Is it something really important? I don't know. Well, let's see what it has to say. To Mr. Lawyer Dude, I've got something really important to tell you. Why do I feel uneasy all of a sudden? Oh, Mr. Wright. So actually I have a favor to ask you. I have this cat named Shoe. I didn't put a whole lot of food when I left the house, so he's probably really hungry. You think you could stop by my house and feed Shoe for me, dude? My house is like just a little ways down from the hotel, all right? It is his house. It is Matt on guard's house. This is terrible. Let's hurry. We have to feed his cat. I'm sure poor Shoe's stomach is growling by now. Yeah, I guess. Please feed my cat Shoe. My house is a little way down from the hotel. The client's request is a request. I guess I should go check up on his cat. Okay. Doing these Maya voices is making me lightheaded. Wait, do I have to go to the lobby before I go to his house? Let me drink some water. Oh, there's no water in this. No! All right now, Mr. Nick. Let's look for clues. You shall not pass. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Miss Oldbag. Don't evaluate my name and turn it into a gasp, you spiky head pettifogger. Because of you, I've been made to look like the bad guy again, although I did get a piece of gum from Edgy Boy, just as he promised. Oh my god. I can't deal with her popping off right now. I'm lightheaded from doing all these high-pitched voices. It's killing me. She popped off about wanting to fuck Edgeworth. Miss Oldbag, keep your hands off me. This helmet is airtight. No air gets in, no air gets out. Then why do you keep putting it on? Don't think you can get me to move with silly questions. You're gonna have to defeat me if you want to get by. I'm not hearing this. Hey, check it out. Your boyfriend said I could... Oh, that's Matt's note. Fuck. This one. Maybe if I show her this letter I got from Edwards. Miss Oldbag, if you would look at... What? You want me to look at this worthless piece of... Oh, edgy poo. Sorry. Is that her perfume pheromone d'amour I smell? Amour, I mean? Did he just insinuate she got moist? Let's see here. Would you please allow this unsophisticated young person to conduct his investigation? Yours truly, Miles Edgeworth. Yours truly? That man's good at flattery. Fine, but only because Edgy Poo said so, you understand? Letter of introduction was given Miss Oldbag. I just thought of something I have to do. Remember, no messing around. You do anything bad and I won't let you off the hook. Okay, I was just trying to get to Matt's house. Looks like she has strong feelings for Miss Edgeworth. That may be, but you know nothing's gonna come of it. That's so mean, Mr. Nick. Feelings are meant to be told and shared. Oh, every time we talk about love, I always end up with a handprint on my face. So anyway, let's continue the investigation. Rat-tat-tat! Ah, what now? One little thing before I forget. You can't go into Guard's room today. Why? The police main investigation team is going to be there all day, you hear? I wonder if they're going to be in charge, the team in charge of the killer. So don't go in there. Set one foot in and you'll face the gat. Okay, can I go to Matt's house? Okay. I didn't even want to talk to her. I was trying to get to Matt's house. Sure is dark. I'll go turn on the light. Holy fuck, that's dangerous. Wow, so this is what a star's house looks like. Must be nice to be rich. Come on, Mr. Nick, let's find Shoo the kitty cat. Ooh, it's a little kitten. So I get this as a Shoo. Oh, what a lovely cat. Hello, Shoo. Tee-hee. Cat seems like pearls. Pardon me. Oh, no. May I help you with something, mister? We're lawyers. Actually, I'm Mr. On Guard's lawyer. The master's... Then you must be Mr. Wright. Yes. It's a pleasure to meet your wonderful self. I'm the family butler, John Doe. Nice to meet you. Meow. You must know all sorts of things about Mr. On Guard, right? Honestly, sir, I don't believe my master is capable of such a foul deed as murder. And, anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of his master or his affairs. How typically butler-like we are. Mr. Doe, how long have you served this residence? Well, sir, maybe about 1 year. And, anything else? No. It is not appropriate for such a lowly servant to speak of himself and his affairs. You know, I would have thought that Mr. On Guard would have a maid over a butler. Hell yeah. That's a very cute kitty cat you got. It is my duty to take care of him. The master rather fancies Shoo. And anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the family cat. Okay. Well, I'm afraid I must take my leave of you now. Oh, we should probably get going ourselves. So young and already so accomplished, a master of law. But there's a lot to be proud of being a butler in charge of a house and all. Thank you for the compliment, sir. People are not always who they appear to be. Now, if you'll excuse me. Weird. Okay, so I don't know how to put this all together. I'm too tired. I got like 5 hours of sleep last night. I was playing Binding of Isaac until 3 a.m. It's an addiction. It's feeling to me like there's a personal connection between the killer and Matt. I don't know if he's actually worked here for a year. I would be inclined to say he hasn't. But I wonder if the killer would be willing to go to jail instead of Matt. Because he said, the reason I'm fucked up by this is because he said people aren't always who they appear to be. And to me, it's like, why the fuck are you throwing suspicion on yourself? Like, why would you drop that? Like, that's the light Yagami. Like, Kira would have to be pretty smart to get all the issue. You know what I mean? Like, why are you doing that? So it makes me feel like he would be okay getting caught instead of Matt, but I don't know why he would do that. Just because he's worked here as a butler is not enough for him to like throw down his fucking life. You know what I mean? It's a very comfortable and spacious lounge set. I wonder if famous stars drop by and sit and have a good time. In any case, I don't really belong here, do I? Arg, what's with me and feeling inferior today? Huh? Okay. A giant bicycle is flying through the air. Why is this tipping over? That bicycle, Pearls, is one where you don't have to move the pedals, and it moves up all by itself. Really? Wow. Sorry to disappoint you, though. It can't fly. Oh, that's too bad. Can you get, like, inhabited by a bird or something and fly? Oh, there are masks here. Yeah, that one in the middle is from the Steel Samurai. The one next to her, the Pink Princess and the Evil Magistrate. They fought many battles against the backdrop of Neo-Old Tokyo. Wow, you know a lot about the Steel Samurai, Mr. Nick. I don't know whether to laugh or cry that I know more about that show than a kid. Is there nothing in here of relevance? Should I really just leave? That feels wrong. Oh, there's a giant cooking hearth here. It's actually a fireplace. How are they different? You know, I've never actually actually seen a hearth before, come to think of it. You should come and visit Faye Manor then. I'll show you one when you do. Oh, fuck. Okay, anything else? I think that's everything. Okay, bye! Okay. Back to the hotel. I'm still curious as why Mr. Powers is here. He's like in my witness notebook and I don't understand why. I guess that's just because, like, for people that aren't aware of, like, who, maybe it doesn't all have to be used in court. Maybe it's just so, like, you should probably know who this is. Looks like we're the only ones here. And yet, the hotel seems so busy somehow. Probably because the police team is scouring for clues for the killer. Okay. Oh my god, I'm getting lightheaded a bunch. I need food, I think. I ordered some. How is Lotta still here? Hey, Sitter Boy. Lotta, you're still here. Yeah, exactly. Fig me and Phoenix would get along. Wrecking cars? An investigating photographer eats or starves on her ability to snap up the scoop, yeah? This hotel just has that aura of mystery to it. You know, something's about to happen. But do you have a camera? Rhett Given? A photographer's got to have cameras out the ears like corn to be a real pro, you know? So I'm hanging around here. Speaking of cameras and feeding the mouth, do you have mine, you bread thief? Why can't you drop the thief thing already? I think I do have your camera. Is this your camera? No, that's just like the concept of your camera. I could reference your camera as an idea. Want to ask you about the night of the murder. What? You really gonna shell out the big bucks for info like that? Lotta, you were loitering in this hallway the night of the murder, were you not? Well, kinda, but brace yourself, Felix. Here it comes. I didn't exactly hang around here the entire time, you know. Followed a few stars around, got a few autographs, shook a few hands, had a few soda pops with a few of them too. Looks like she wasn't here the entire time that night. The security lady also wasn't here. I guess that means there's no one who could tell us who came that night. It's the killer. So about the note that was inside your camera case. Oh, that little ditty I wrote? Yeah, can I believe what you've written? You mean the stuff about Angard shoving his manager onto Kuroda? Ah, well, I reckon you'd best not be believing yet. What? Look, I sort of write it on a whim, you know, writing whatever came to mind. You just slandered that man in court. Whatever came to mind? Yeah, like when you get down to it, it's just a lot of random bulldooders. What? Hey, what's with you? Why are you staring at me like my grandpa used to? Hey, why do you look like you suddenly got older too? Or am I just shrinking here? What? Like it aged him? My baby. My $1,600 baby. What's with that red-coated prosecutor anyhow? The guy told me it was evidence and refused to give it back to me. Well, that's kind of how it is. Hey, you're that red coat's friend, ain't ya? So put in a few good words for me and get my camera back? Yeah, you're gonna get your camera back. You want me to do what? Listen, nab the guy real good for about 5 hours and I'll guarantee he'll give it back. You give him a hot blowy, he will give you whatever you want. Why don't you do your own dirty work? Well, I reckon it's time for me to get going. A tabloid photographer without a camera is just a tabloid, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Keep yourself out there, you hear? I'm coming to see you in court tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you then. And you too, Littleton. Keep up the good work, all right? Okay. Don't be picky about your food now. Could you leave? Okay. And make sure you do all your homework, you hear? Okay. If you have a defined job, would you please just leave already? It's funny. Me in this game's, like, thought processes. I understand the bit right before it happens. Okay. So I can't go into On Guard's room, so I have to go into the Kuroda household with all the bears. Oonga, 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 oonga. Mr. Nick, what was that otherworldly ghastly moaning? Ooga chaka, ooga chaka. I hate evil ghosts. I don't think it's a ghost. Maybe it's a demon? Oh my god. Excuse me? Nope. Excuse me. I don't remember her voice all of a sudden. God, I'm really not in it right now. Excuse me? Watch who you're calling a demon, brat. Zoinks, it's the alien. Who are you calling an alien? Rat-a-tat-tat. Oh, it's just you, Miss Oldbag. What are you doing here? What's wrong with youngins today? I came down here to pay respects to my poor Juan, and you're disturbing me. Could you leave? Please talk about the night of the murder just one more time. I talked about it plenty at the trial. I was fooled, tricked, deceived by that fraud of a photographer and her note. She was loitering around here with that imbecilic look on her face. With that imbecilic look on her face. All right, got it. Now just hold on there, you little peepsqueak. If you're gonna take some notes, you at least make me sound better than that. Now I've seen everything. But you know, I was working that night, doing my own job, minding my own business. So it's not like I had time to stand around here the whole night. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about Mr. Kuroda. He was the most popular star, you know, especially in where it counts in my book. Sorry. But I heard he was lagging behind Mr. On Guard in the polls. Well, that's just a recent thing. Bad luck in that, you know. But he was going to become an even bigger star than he used to be. Look, just look at his mountain of presents. It's a show of the mountain of feelings all of his fans had for him. Yeah, the mountain is pretty big and certainly nothing to shake a stick at. Mr. Nick? What is it, Pearls? The presents. They're all bears, right? Correct. She's got a point. There's not a single thing in here that's not a bear. Mr. Kuroda's presents from all of his fans seem to be bears. Well, that's because you can't think of Juan without thinking about bears. Bears? Why bears? You don't know? When my dear Juan was training, he fought barehanded with the bear. He refused to give in and let the bear win, but afterwards they became friends. Wow, what a heartwarming story. Look, it's just like in those young people's dramas. I can't wait to see those two tuck it out. Down by the river. Hey, you sure can fight. You too, bub, you too. Did that all really happen? It's in his biography, bub. Hey, bub. What a load of crock. So ever since then, fans have been giving him bears as presents. Yeah, nice bears. Growl. I'm Uncle Bear, and I say it's barely 8 o'clock. What is that infernal racket? It's one of the presents going off. It sounds like it's 8 p.m. Way past your bedtime. That startled me. I thought I was going to die for a second. All right. 8 p.m. That's the time when the awards ceremony ended that night, remember? Time sure flies. Hard to believe it's already been 2 days. Get your receiver. Hello? This is not a phone. Maya? Yeah, how is Maya? Oh my god, I'm really getting lightheaded. This is a problem. Maya, how is Maya? You haven't heard her, have you? It seems you're not able to fully fulfill your end of the bargain, Mr. Attorney. I have heard the news. So it seemed my present did you no good. No, Mr. Maya! One more day, please. All I ask is for one more day. I'll get a not guilty verdict for sure this time. I suppose if I must. I need that acquittal more than anything else after all. Please let Maya say something. I want to hear she's all right. All right. Hiss, then hiss, a little hiss. What is with the static all of a sudden? Hello? It seems bad. Connect. Did the transceiver suddenly break? Nah, bro, the SWAT team's going in. What happened? I don't know. All of a sudden it became nothing but static. Why, Mr. Maya? Why'd the transceiver suddenly break like that? I should probably have an electronics expert look at it. The sooner the better. Who the fuck do I know that? I mean, there's cops in the other room. Who do I know that's an electronics expert? This transceiver, whenever we're in this room, starts acting up. I wonder if we can talk to someone about this. Oh, so it's something in this room. I didn't even mean that. It's a suitcase. Maybe there are so many things that I bet it barely closes. There's his clothes, a dryer, an electric shaver, a calculator. Do all stars pack this much? Okay. Can I try to find the transceiver? So messy here. Pearl really likes things neat and tidy, I take it. There are lots of electronic things in here I've never seen before. Hey, Mr. Nick, tell me what they are, pretty please. Okay, that over there is a watch. I know what a watch is. Oops. For a second there, I thought I was talking I forgot I was talking with Pearls, not Maya. Wow. It's gonna do Maya like that, huh? Well, let me check the clock. It's probably the thing. Wow, there are a lot of bears. Alarm clocks, collector's edition, stuffed teddies, plastic models. It's pretty overwhelming. Is there a kind of bear he doesn't have? There's even a few in the trash. Yeah, I get the feeling that maybe the guy didn't really like the bears. Poor teddies. Oh my god, it's hard to bear with all these problems, Growl. Stop. I don't have it in me to be Mo right now. I must produce content. I don't think I want to bear with the trauma. I think that's the same thing that happened before. I think we've had that dialogue. I think that's the same yoke. I gotta slide to the left one hop. I don't see a transceiver. Would Mr. Powers be an electronics expert? He's not here though. Who's an electronics expert? Is Edgeworth here? Oh, it's Edgeworth. Wow, everybody looks really busy with something or another. They're probably strengthening the evidence for tomorrow's trial. Hey, hurry up with that, will you? Pass the... Oh, no, this is just a nameless detective. You've got to be kidding me. There's over 100 people here. Mr. Nick, is Mr. On Guard really that big and bad of a criminal? Actually, Pearls, never mind. Sounds like they're working on a different case. I see. Gumshoe is not my expert, right? He can't be my techno expert. He didn't even know he had a transceiver planted on him from Van Siska. Hey, welcome back, pal. I thought I'd make you something special for dinner. Thanks. A rich man's luxurious full-course meal out of a can, that is. I'm sorry you went through all the trouble to cook, but I don't have the time to eat. Oops. Looks like you don't have a can opener, pal. You've got to be kidding me. I thought he had already whipped something up. Oh, I know. There's one way I know how to be helpful. Ask me about anything you want, pal. Go ahead. All right, since he's here and offering, I wonder what I should try to ask him about. Transceiver. The transceiver. Oh, Mr. Nick, you should ask this coffee. Woo! Okay, we're working on it. What's that thing? Oh, yeah. This thing's just up and broke all of a sudden. It broke, pal. Well, when I was talking to the kidnapper, it suddenly broke into static. Look, it sounded like this. I don't hear any static, pal. You little retarded, pal? You have to tell me legally. I'm a cop. Huh? Yeah, there's a jammer in the room. Maybe it fixed itself. That's strange. I'm sure it was making a lot of static noise. Maybe. Maybe what? Maybe it was electromagnetic interference, pal. Electromagnetic interference? That's the biggest word I've ever heard him say. So what is electromagnetic interference? It's something that happens whenever a radio wave gets mixed up with another signal, pal. Simple quantum mechanics, pal. You see the visible light spectrum. They don't teach you this in lawyer school. Oh, when you put it that way. I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, for example, when a cell phone goes off next to a computer screen, the stuff on the screen gets kind of fuzzy, right? No. Huh? Computer? This is 1999. It looks like when you use the dryer next to the TV and the screen starts looking weird. Oh, yes, the TV does that. So that's what you're talking about. She seems amazingly happy. Oops. And able to understand this. So the room that you were in when the interference happened, there's got to be something sending out very strong radio waves, pal. Oh, I do remember leaving my JO crystals in the room, to be honest. That baby's charged high up. Something like, I don't know, a listening device or something. Ooh, my food's here. Hey, speaking of that, where were you when that happened? We were in Mr. Kuroda's room, the scene of the murder. What? That's it. I'm gonna sneak into the precinct to get a bug sweeper. Meet you at the crime scene later, all right, pal? Wait, Gumshoe. Oh yeah, baby, it's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah. This is very illegal, Gumshoe. You're not currently employed. We should be going too, Mr. Nick. All right, let's go. Let's fucking go. All right. This is going to do the slow type out. I'll be right back. 1 second. I should have paused. All right, 1 second. I'm going to pause the recording. It'll just be like a little flash edit for you. I was gonna eat my trappers, and maybe you don't want me to do this. Skip through this if you want to. This is a little embarrassing, but I figured we'd do a little cute little mukbang together, huh? Because I got trappers again, by the way. I'm obsessed. Let's find a video you want to watch with me, huh? What does Natalie want to listen to? All of this shit is stuff Casey listens to, huh? You know what, babe? No, I can't do unusual memes while I'm eating. Because I can't eat and like laugh. But we could have done some unusual memes together. Or maybe I should. No, we'll save it. It doesn't work if you're not cuddling me. That's kind of the whole thing. Ooh, Harvest Moon, what happened? Look at this. This is a great idea. Mukbang time with the BB. It shouldn't take me too long. It's just trappers. There's some gyoza and some sushi. We'll just watch this video.
Hello and welcome, farmers, to another episode of What Happened, the show that...
Hopefully you haven't seen this. It's 3 days old. I doubt you have. You're too busy. What am I saying? You're a hard-working BB.
I mean, the video game industry has to offer. Today we're doing something...
I should turn this up, actually.
...different, as in, we're not focusing exclusively on...
It's probably very quiet.
...had a rough life cycle or disastrous launch, but rather taking a look back at the confusing history of one of the most beloved and wholesome video game franchises of all time, Bokujo Monogatari... Story of Seasons. Well, it's all three of them, really, kinda, but sorta not. But yes, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself, which usually means it's time for y'all to grab your shovels and put on a fresh pair of overalls, because it's time to find out what happened to Harvest Moon. If you were a fan of the mighty Super Nintendo, there's a chance you might have seen this box art at your local rental store. Your interest was piqued. It was so different from what you'd normally see on the shelf, except for maybe that one. Then, a few years later, you may have spied Harvest Moon 64, then Back to Nature, Friends of Mineral Town, and a whole farmer's dozen of others. While certainly a more low-key franchise, the farming simulator struck a chord with the people who weren't just about running and/or gunning. Harvest Moon then quickly became a beloved staple series with a pretty consistent level of quality across both consoles and handhelds. It was also a huge boon to the series' main publisher, Natsume, who consistently published the games in North America and occasionally Europe. Nintendo would actually publish a fair few of them in Europe and Australia too, for whatever reason. What a lot of Western fans may not have known, especially in the early days, was that Natsume had very little to do with the series outside of localization. That's because Harvest Moon, aka Bokujo Monogatari, literally Farm Story, was made by a separate studio entirely. The first entry on the Super Nintendo was developed by a small design team named Amcus under their Japanese publisher Pack-In Video, with series creator Yasuhiro Wada acting as a planner. It was published in Japan by Pack-In Video and would later be published in North America by Natsume. Shortly after the game's August 1996 release in Japan, Pack-In Video merged with Victor Electronics and became a part of their flagship game studio, Victor Interactive Software. Fortunately, for the sake of this video's runtime, it stays like that for the next 6.5 years. I hope you're still with me, because we've only just started. Natsume will be kept on board as the go-to studio for localizing the series for the West. Now, Natsume also had a complicated timeline of its own, so we're gonna give it its own little section here, because they're a whole other beast. There are two arms to this publisher, Natsume Co. Limited, the original Japanese branch, and Natsume Inc., the American arm. Natsume Co. Limited was responsible for developing 16-bit classics like Wild Guns, Pocky and Rocky, the Ninja Warriors, and of course, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition.
Oh my god. Bro, he just died. Dude, I'm trying to play this game before I Evo.
Hell yeah, Justin Wong, the fighting game
Inc.'s work was mostly localizing and publishing. Additionally, the Japanese Natsume Co. Limited would later merge with a Japanese pachinko company named Atari, but not that Atari, and form Natsume Atari. As if this couldn't get any worse, the American Natsume Inc. would also later open a studio in Japan. called Natsume Inc. Japan. Please make sure you're taking notes here, everybody. This will be on the quiz. Anyway, at some point in Natsume's publishing deal for the series, there was one unique benefit they were able to take advantage of. Natsume would own the localized name Harvest Moon, and it would remain their intellectual property until this very day. Victor Interactive was free to publish the games in Japan as they saw fit, and continued to use the original Bokujo Monogatari name. Franchise continued on like this throughout the early 2000s, but between the PS2 title, Save the Homeland, and one of the franchise's bigger hits, Friends of Mineral Town, changes were happening behind the scenes. On March 24, 2003, Marvelous Entertainment bought a 55% stake in Victor Interactive, which made them the majority shareholder. Thus, Victor Interactive became Marvelous Interactive. Suddenly, the company that both developed and published Bokujo was now a much bigger entity than Natsume, but the deal that had been struck for the Harvest Moon series would remain. And if that all makes too much sense to you, don't worry, things get even more complicated in 2007 with Marvelous's purchase of Exceed. Exceed was founded in 2004 as a localization studio for Japanese
These
games.
models look like Akira
They would publish a
Toriyama
few
models with
titles
the fucking
before
hair
being
spikes.
fully purchased by Marvelous in 2007. They would later go on to publish What Happened All-Stars like Samurai Shodown Sen, the Legend of Heroes series, and of course, Ju-On, the Haunted House Simulator. Through all of this, Natsume still localized many a farming sim for Marvelous, from the futuristic Innocent Life to most of the fantastical Rune Factory series. They were still an important ally for Marvelous to get their games shipped worldwide in a timely manner. Exceed ultimately was a small company and probably didn't have the bandwidth to do as many releases as Marvelous was able to churn out. In 2007 and 2009 though, Natsume would ship 2 Harvest Moon puzzle games, Puzzle to Harvest Moon and Harvest Moon Frantic Farming, which were developed and shipped under the Harvest Moon name with no involvement from Marvelous. A test perhaps for farming things out to come? Ultimately, those
I literally was just looking at that and I just got mad again that there were no sprites in the new Harvest Moon game. I just got a little bit mad again. That was actually crazy. I saw
and shipped under the Harvest Moon name to come.
Yeah, this
no
with all the
involvement
sprites?
from Marvelous.
Chia Ho? Wait a minute. Who's this? Natalie?
Moon
Text me.
name with no involvement.
Text me this
from
girl's name.
Marvelous.
Just
a test,
send me
perhaps,
some
for
images of this woman
farming
here.
Things out to come.
It's like,
Ultimate
is that
from
blonde or is
Marvelous.
that
A
orange?
test,
I can't
perhaps,
tell.
For farming things.
That's blonde.
Name
Listen,
with
I'm not
no
here to thirst over
involvement
Harvest
from
Moon women.
Marvelous. A test, perhaps,
Except that
for
one with the midriff?
farming
Wait a minute.
things out to come.
Sorry.
Ultimately,
Sorry.
those
Okay, we're
farming
good.
things would indeed come in
Don't worry about that.
2014, where the big schism would occur. Over the course of 16 years, Natsume had shipped 26 Harvest Moon games in the West, undeniably cementing it as their main cash cow. By this time though, it seems Marvelous had had enough. They no longer needed a middleman taking a cut of their profits when they already owned another company that did the same thing. They made preparations to bring Exceed further under their umbrella and thus consolidated them internally to become Marvelous USA in 2013. Although they would still operate with the Exceed branding. With these changes enacted, the next Bokujo Monogatari game would naturally be done under Exceed, and so it was announced as what many fans took to be a new series, Story of Seasons. Now, what is Story of Seasons? Well, it's the same as the old Harvest Moon games. Natsume only owned specifically the English name Harvest Moon. The Japanese name for Story of Seasons is in fact Bokujo Monogatari Tsunagaru Shintenshi, or Farm Story to the New World. As you can see, the branding in Japan is no different from the rest of the series, blessing the citizens of Japan with a farming series that doesn't need some confusing YouTube video to explain it. Going through a name change outside of Japan, though, was a bit of a risk for Marvelous because they could no longer bank on the well-known Harvest Moon name in the West, so they had to trust that their overseas fans would be savvy enough to know what's what. To try and dispel dispel all this confusion, Nintendo World Report held an interview in 2014 with a longtime producer at Marvelous, Yoshifumi Hashimoto, to try to explain it as best he could, because not everyone understood exactly what was going on and why. The thing is, in Japan it's called Bokujo Monogatari, which is Farm Story. In America it was Harvest Moon, but Natsume owns that IP, so even though we're changing the publisher, it's the same series in Japan. For 18 years it's been the same development team, so the game itself hasn't really changed in that sense, but Natsume is doing their own Harvest Moon now because we sort of have a different way of looking at where Harvest Moon should go. That's where we departed each other. So in that, exceed being part of, we're in the same company. We're 100% a subsidiary of Marvelous AQL, so it's just easier to communicate on a daily basis from now on. So yeah, if Natsume wanted to continue to publish Harvest Moon games, they would need to make their own. Natsume's non-farming ventures hadn't fared as well in terms of sales. Games like the Real Fishing series, Africa, and the indelible, totally not unmemorable Rough Trigger weren't exactly lighting NPD charts ablaze. Harvest Moon, on the other hand, had sold millions of copies under Natsume, so it's safe to say that over the last 20 years, farming games had been keeping the lights on.
This video is kind of bumming me out.
The original series, they were totally within their rights to push forward with new and much worse Harvest Moon titles. You have to assume Natsume knew well in advance that they were losing access to the Bokujo Monogatari series, given that they had already had a new quote-unquote Harvest Moon game ready to go in 2014, the same year that the Japanese Story of Seasons released in its home country. Natsume had turned to Tablet Inc., who, give me a second here, Tablet Inc., who made a game called Wacky World of Sports and worked on a title called with Lollipop Chain.
Yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw's sick though. Wait, Lollipop Chainsaw's sick.
Additional modeling. That's what
okay.
Natsume would turn to them to craft the new Harvest Moon, which would come in the form of Harvest Moon 3D: The Lost Valley. As you can see, that game failed spectacularly at living up to the series' legacy. While the post-Natsume takeover experienced ups and downs, The Lost Valley reviewed overall as the worst game of the series over on Metacritic. Thus, when you consider how this was the first game after the brand split, many Harvest Moon fans were pretty shell-shocked when they booted this one up. While it did bring a number of new ideas, like a more magical-based narrative to the farm, most critics critiqued the fact that it was simply too boring and took too long to open up, as well as lacking a lot of the charm of the previous entries. This was then followed up with Skytree Village, a sequel that barely anyone seems to talk about. It fared slightly better with critics and fans, but most found it to be only an incremental improvement over the Lost Valley, because it didn't do anything vastly new. Unfortunately, the move to the Switch, PS4, and phones didn't improve matters much. Harvest Moon: Light of Hope, despite its subtitle, didn't give longtime fans much hope for the future. This 2017 entry saw a big change in art style.
Is this a mobile game? Look at these trees. This is a mobile game, right? You didn't pay like $40 for this game, right? This was free with like in-game purchases. Look at the trees.
Much hope for the future. This 2017 entry saw a big change in art style, which wasn't to many fans' tastes. I mean, it was really fucking bad.
Did you play this? No, you didn't play this game, did you? Is this the one that I kept getting mad at you for? You played this? Honey, we could have gotten you so many better games.
As well as simplified mechanics, limited crafting, and a very short story. Light of Hope was barely covered by most video game websites, going largely unreviewed. Things have debatably improved somewhat with last year's Harvest Moon One World, as Natsume was at least able to get it some more press coverage. This didn't result in much better reviews from critics or fans, mind you. While some of them had positive things to say about it than the previous game, the Metacritic average actually slipped even lower than Light of Hope's already lukewarm score. If I can hazard a guess here, without decades of experience developing farm sims, it's just been really hard for Natsume to crack the code here. They've pushed out 4 Harvest Moon farm sims in only 7 years, which is just asking fans to get burned out. Add in the fact that more and more fans are becoming savvy of the Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons situation and a certain indie developer's other gargantuan farming hit, well, Natsume seems to have a forever uphill battle on their hands. Now, as for Story of Seasons, well, having fewer new releases overall has still fared much better. The new games have mostly stuck to what made them so successful in the first place. Fans and critics have continued to enjoy the classic vibes and familiar mechanics that have been on offer.
Potpourri,
you
my
definitely start to see
queen.
a pattern emerge here, though. Fans of Harvest Moon mostly migrated
Oh my fucking god. I keep forgetting how fucking cute this game is.
Emerge here, though. Fans of Harvest
Look at these shitty little legs. Why are your legs so small? Why is your head so large, little cow?
Moon mostly migrated over to Story
Ooh. Do chickens even have tails? What is this?
Seasons and seem to generally have more goodwill with each new entry, whereas Harvest Moon is the exact opposite. All the sequels under Natsume have had more and more muted responses with each new release. According to Steam Spy, Harvest Moon Light of Hope performed best, selling around 25,000 units on Steam, with One World barely even cracking 2,000. Meanwhile, the best performing Story of Seasons title, Friends of Mineral Town, sits above 70,000 units sold, and the worst performer, Pioneers of Olive Town, is around 23,000 units at the time of this writing. This, of course, is just a small sample of the series' sales, as even a cursory look at Japanese retail sales for the series show that Steam accounts for only a fraction of sales for the Story of Seasons games. Unfortunately, these new Harvest Moon games under Natsume actually don't even release in Japan, so it's not really possible to directly compare the two to further dunk on new Harvest Moon. Now, we do need to loop back around to Yasuhiro Wada,
the creeper alpaca is so cute.
Now, we do need to loop back around to Yasuhiro Wada, the longtime shepherd of the Bokujo Monogatari series. He had felt a little listless in hands-off managerial positions and wanted to return to game development, so he stepped down from his position at Marvelous in 2010, spent a year and change at Grasshopper Manufacture, then founded Toybox Inc. in 2012 with Tomio Kanazawa. Their debut game would be an all-new farming sim titled Hometown Story, completely disconnected from Bokujo Monogatari and New Harvest Moon.
Do we know about this?
It would be published by Natsume. Come the fuck on! What are the chances? Anyway, they would actually move past farming sims and onto the greener pastures of original games like Birthdays, The Beginning, and Little Dragon Cafe. More recently have made larger and more ambitious games like Deadly Premonition 2 and the Nintendo-published DC Superhero Girls Teen Power, which was produced by Wada himself and directed by one Masayuki Ide, who long ago worked on Wacky World of Sports at Tablet Inc.
What?
There's one more cool angle to all of this, though. While all the mergers, splits, and murky publishing rights happened in the background, the Harvest Moon franchise imprinted its wholesome outlook onto a lot of fans, with one such fan being Eric Barone, who single-handedly developed his dream farming sim over the course of 5 years. This game, of course, was Stardew Valley, the game that you, your little sister, and your grandmother have all heard of. It has since crossed 20 million sales across all platforms, quite possibly putting it ahead of the entire Bokujo series. And in an attempt to end on a good note, Wada and Barone even met a few years ago while Birthdays, The Beginning was about to launch, with both creators being very complimentary of each other's work. A surreal moment for them both, I'm sure.
That's sick.
Even though corporate restructuring, confusing branding, and these new lackluster sequels have kind of muddied the Harvest Moon waters, it's at least easy to see that the spirit still lives on in other games, no matter the name on the box. A huge thanks goes out to Big Boss Brooke down at my Patreon for nominating.
Good Muckbang, babe. Hopefully this all recorded correctly. Might have just been me. If that video didn't record how it was supposed to, I'll just send you the video to pull up and you can just watch it over the top. Okay, Okay, Gatewater Hotel. What were we doing? Transmitter. Oh, I have to fix the settings. Get fucking turned back down. I'm important, not you. Hey, pal, you're finally here. Sorry to keep you waiting. Do you have the bug sweeper? Oh, yeah, I already feel a lot better. My head's not fuzzy. I'm still very tired, though, but I'm not, like, lightheaded. Oh, well, you see, I got busted trying to sneak in, pal. Then suddenly I'm staring at the precinct doors. From the outside, I mean. So, yeah, I couldn't get one of the police bug sweepers. What do you mean you couldn't get one? We need that item. Hey, calm down, pal. I didn't say I didn't get one. Just not the police's. Wow, so this is a bug sweeper. Looks a little broken. Hey, this was made when I was in elementary school, pal. Oh? By who? Me, of course. Seeing this sure does bring back memories. Hey, don't look down on it, pal. Sure, it looks a little beat up, but I put my heart and soul into building this little puppy here. Your heart and soul? It'll work. Trust me, pal. It'll do the job, but you can't set the sensitivity, so it's gonna beep at anything that gives off electromagnetic waves, pal. It's gonna be one of the teddy bears. But isn't it better that way? Oh, well, anyway, since I brought this all this way, might as well give it a whirl, right, pal? I'm getting that sinking feeling again. Okay, now I'll tell you how to use this baby. There's a listening device or some sort of bug hidden in this room, pal. So we're gonna find it, right? Right, now, first, let's turn the sweeper on. Next, move the sweeper around to give the room a real thorough look-see. The sweeper will let you know if you're picking up a strong signal. Once you find something that's giving off a lot of radio waves, press enter to lock in on it. It's the alarm clock that went off. Oh, what a lovely bear. Ah! This must be one of those fancy bear-shaped toy robots. It's a robot? It's a real robot? Yeah, it's a real one. How many horsepower is it? How many horsies? Horsies? Well, look, it's a bear, so, oh. Okay. I'm cha-cha sliding. I think it's gonna be this. That's not it? That's the laptop. There, it's the bear alarm clock. Well, it certainly looks like an alarm clock. What's wrong? Why do you look troubled? Just can't imagine the listening device being inside an alarm clock. It just sort of reminded me of something that happened a long time ago. Well, anyways, looks like the listening device isn't in here. Fuck! Well, do you have a rice cooker on the floor? You fucking animal? Is it in the big real bear? Oh, but this is the coffee machine, right? What is this? Yeah, this is the coffee machine. I was trying to get the bear on top of it. 1 second. So is it not over here? Hello? It's got to be in a bear, right? All right, we're playing I Spy now. This bear looks mischievous. I don't trust him. Oh, is it the bear that's in the trash? No. Where is it? Is it none of them? Is it this one? Not the lamps. The clamps. This music's stressing me out. Okay, I'm gonna slowly check the bears. But this doesn't... We have a dryer. Nothing unusual here, I think. A dryer? Oh, if you're using it next to the TV screen, it'll make it look all weird, right? Yeah. And now when that happens, it's called electromagnetic interference, right? Hey, good memory, Pearls. I will never forget it for the rest of my life. Okay. Here's the problem. Is I get a better signal the closer I get to the electricity. And I'm not even close to anything when I'm near the bears. I don't know. Like, I'm not getting any higher functions. There doesn't seem to be anything giving off radio waves there, Nick. Keep a careful eye on the bug sweeper. Let's try again. Is this not giving off? It is. Fuck off. A cell phone. Nope. No bugs in here. A cell phone? What? You don't tell me you don't know what a cell phone is. I'm sorry. I've never seen one before. Now that she mentions it, my cell phone couldn't get any reception when I was in Korean Village. And Pearls has never lived outside the village. So, well, I guess I can't say it's impossible to live without one. Where's the bug? Is it in the juice? The pictures? Am I retarded? It's got to be in one of these bears. Is it in the one he threw out? What about the rice cooker? Well, there's a really delicious loaf of bread in here. Looks like it's been on keep warm all this time since the murder. What the fuck is happening? I feel like I've clicked on everything. It's none of the bears? How could it not be stuffed in a bear? I can't get out of this mode, so I have to find the bug. I feel like one of these bears that's thrown away. You'd think that would be where the bug. One second, I'm Googling. I don't understand. I'm doing something wrong. What? It says check the left eye of the biggest teddy bear of the bunch. Is it this? Oh. Fuck. This is just a giant stuffed teddy bear, right? It's the biggest one I've ever seen. Hey, I thought I clicked on the big bear. So did you guys find the listening device yet? I mean... No, not yet, but this bear's eye. Let's see. A perfectly normal stuffed bear with some really strong radio waves. Sounds like you found the device to me, pal. Let's dig this big fella's eye out. And see what we got. No, you can't. Such a violent act. Oomph. No! Mr. Barrington. It's a miniature camera, and it looks like there's more. There's a transmitter and a timer. A what emitter? A transmitter, pal. What are you simple boy? Is this more high-tech stuff? Yes. Okay, this is good. So this tiny thing is a camera? Yup. It's a pinhole CCD camera, pal. It's a small high-grade video camera mostly used in security systems. Why are you competent now? So it's a video camera. It runs on a battery, which comes with it in a set. But there's no videotape in this camera. This is only the camera part here, pal. The tape recorder is somewhere else inside. Somewhere else. The footage is changed into radio waves, then sent to the recorder. So it's sort of like a TV broadcast, isn't it? Hey, you're right. Spy camera add to the court record. Transmitter. So what is a transmitter? It's a device that sends the footage the camera took to a specific destination, like a video version of a listening device, pal. It looks like it's attached to a small clock-like thing. Oh, that's a timer, pal. You can set it to turn the camera on and record within a certain time. You can set for a certain time? Like 8 p.m.? Yep, let's see. This looks like it was set to start at 8 p.m. and go for 1 hour. 8 p.m., that was the time the award ceremony ended. There's no date set, so it's been recording everything. It's been recording every night, I'd guess. So wait, okay, so that has a lot of implications. Because this is in his room, Juan Kuroda's room, and this was set to go off at the end of the press conference. So this camera was probably planted by Juan to catch Matt on guard coming into his room and arguing with him afterwards. Because he was going to do the big expose thing, and he probably wanted to secretly record Matt's reaction to it in his room afterwards. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I assume that the evidence that Juan had was so bad he would be arrested on the spot, no? Is that not what we're doing?
Mr. Detective, how long has this big bear been here?
I'm pretty sure it's been here since the night of the murder.
Then maybe.
Maybe this camera caught the murder on tape. What? And if you think about the angle the bear's at, it's bound to have a clear shot of the whole crime, pal. Cool. Can I subpoena? Can I do lawyer shit?
So there was a camera in this bear's eye.
And it was disguised as a present. And I'm sure it was here on the night of the murder, pal. It's pretty big, so it stands out pretty well in my mind. But who gave Mr. Crota this present? I don't know, pal. But this means that someone out there's got a video of what happened that night.
Isn't there any way to find out who that is?
It's impossible, pal. Radio waves can be sent from almost anywhere, so there's no real way to find out. There has to be some internal hard drive on that thing.
Oh.
Is there really no way to find out? Stuffed bear added to the court record. I got it. What? Hey, pal. Let me borrow this mini camera for a bit. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go around the electronic shops and see if I can find out who bought this. But that's impossible. I mean, it's already 9 p.m. Leave it to me. Even if I have to search all night, I'm your man, pal. Oh yeah, baby. It's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah! Gumshoe's sick. I love Gumshoe. I want Gumshoe to be my dad.
He's gone.
Yeah.
But Mr. Scruffy Detective is such a nice man. He's pushing himself so hard, all for Mystic Maya's sake.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery. I'm assuming this is Edgeworth. It's a mystery how you always manage to do things in the most inefficient ways, right? Yep. The fuck is this? You'll have to excuse me. I heard your conversation just now. Edgeworth, what are you doing here? A rescue team has been created and deployed. I can't say I'm optimistic, but we have to move forward one step at a time. I see, thanks. Don't thank me yet. We still have to find her. So there was a spy camera inside the stuffed animal, huh? You're one lucky man, right? Do you know the stuffed bear little girl?
I have no idea.
Of course not. The marker of this bear is a very expensive luxury brand from overseas. It's completely handmade and only a small number are exported here. What? The camera and transmitter the scatterbrain detective took with him are dead ends. Things like that can be bought anywhere. However, this bear's different. By tracking how it got to this country, the bear can tell us who the buyer is.
Can you really do that, Mr. Nick? Can he?
Well, I guess so. Edgeworth's like a fucking Interpol agent. It's 9 p.m. I think I can still make it in time. I'll be taking this now. Just this whole bear. Can you help me carry this to my car? I'm sorry. It's very well made. It's wood on the inside. I'm sure you have other things you have to do. It said the stuffed bear was snatched up by Edgeworth. See you soon, right? Wait. What? Why are you doing this? I have no interest in explaining myself to someone who cannot comprehend. But besides that, right? Until court reconvenes tomorrow, you should concern yourself with this question. Who was the person who murdered Juan Corota? The real killer. Do you really still think it's Adrian Andrews? To be honest, I don't know anymore. You still have a little time left. Find the truth, right? Everything begins with the truth. So, Edgeworth, why don't you just become a fucking defense attorney then? Like, if you know the answer and Phoenix is too stupid, why are you like softballing these in and hoping he bumbles through it? You do it. Juan Corota's real killer. Miss Andrews passed. The kidnapper whose sole condition is the acquittal for Mr. On Guard. And this card, Shelly the Killer. It seems like we're done investigating, so Maya, the only way I can save you now is to find all the answers to this case tonight. I don't understand what your real intentions are, Edgeworth. But as you said, all I can do now is find the truth. It was a good time to have that mukbang then, because this episode would have been a little short. Investigations usually take an hour and 20 or like an hour and a half. Okay, you got your extra hour of content. I can rest now. Oh, shit. This doesn't count. Bye.